Hello, how is everybody doing? Born, you actually startled me a minute there. As usual, I was running late. I even did 10:05. I was like, I'm gonna give myself an extra 5 minutes. And I think it's having children. It is almost impossible to run on time. Hopefully you can hear me though. I see the LOL, so that gives me the confidence that you can hear me. Born, you've got a kid, right? Like it is tough to run on time. Although you have a military background, I'm thinking maybe you are always early. Curious to hear that. Condi Burger, how are you doing, buddy? And Slade, thanks so much for showing evening. So I'm thinking you're in Europe somewhere, maybe, or in Asia. I'm curious to find out. Yeah, kids, it's just how it is. I mean, and I love my children. I love children in general. But I am an adult and I need time where I am not with them. That's the conclusion I've come to after 10 years of parenthood, is that there's nothing wrong with needing time without your kids. In fact, if anything, I think it's a necessity. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm spending time without my kids. So what we're going to do today is we're going to jump in, do a couple paths in Act 7. There was a path where I thought, this path has Dragon Man written all over it, and it probably does, but I think Mojo is going to work really well for it, and I really enjoy using Mojo, and I don't get a chance to use him too often. So we're going to use Mojo, and I really think he's going to be great for it, and if it doesn't go well, it's almost definitely going to be due to user error. There's just going to be very little doubt in my mind. And then I think we'll finish exploring 7.1.1, which shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, they want to do something all the time, especially right now with COVID, right? Like my oldest, she's not in school at all. School is all online. So they get no time with their friends. They're getting no time with other people. So not only have I gone from, parent, but now I'm like playmate too. And so, no, Pars, you have not missed anything at all, except for me explaining why I'm late and how much I enjoy my children, but I also need time away from them. So, and I think they need time away from me too. So anyways, all right. Let's get into it. I am going to use Mojo. So I'm going to take suicides off. I know he can work with suicides, but I think for what we're doing here, I think it's going to be smarter to take them off. We are done with AQ. We were running the Turn the Tide today, and Apocalypse was not fun with that. Apocalypse was not fun at all. One of the many awesome players in For Loki, Bryn, has gotten quite good with Tigra against him, but Tigra on Turn the Tide is no good. It does not work well because of needing to use her specials the way it is. So what are you gonna do? So we had to kind of team effort it, and we got him down. I thought I was gonna do really well. I had a ranked up Gilly 99, and I evaded his SB1 twice, really well. And I thought, oh, wow, I'm going to do significant damage here. I am playing well. And I tried to evade that third SP1, and he just knocked the daylights out of me, as they say. How are you doing? It's evening for you, too. Are you also in Europe? All right, so I think that's going to be plenty for Mojo to work out well here on this one. And let's see, did I already start it? I know I was testing out a few things. No, I think I was just looking to see the next quest. I do like to I do like to try to test this stuff out at least a little bit before I just jump on stream with you all. I think you all know by now that we're having fun, we're testing things. If we use a few items, it's no big deal. But for the most part, if I can test it out a little bit, I'd like to at least have an idea. Addie, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks so much for showing up. In what order do we run the epic nodes? I think So Saith Doom is last. Parry Curse is second. I think today was third, which is Turn the Tide. First for us is the one with the crits. I can't think of what it's called. But, if you consistently are critting, you're going to get those debuffs, which could eventually lead to the degeneration. I can't think of what that one's called, but that's what we typically run first. Parse. Oh, you're from India. Oh, very good. Okay. And you're staying in Europe for studies. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. That's awesome. All right, let's get Mojo in there. And so here's what we're doing is we're taking one of the lanes with the Unstoppable, and he's got this great synergy with Gladiator Hulk. So when we complete a prompt, he's going to go Unstoppable. This actually worked decently for that Can't Stop, Won't Stop in AQ too. So, and then we're going to come up on that Yondu, which I think is going to be I think that's going to be rough, but that's fine. It is what it is. And I want to see if Apocalypse can handle him okay. We don't want to bring the 5-star, though. So let's bring Cable. And then who on their own works well against that Yondu? I think he's got a Shrug, which is why I want to try out Apocalypse. So, I can't remember. We took him down in a stream. The first time, but I was so busy talking, I could not recall who we used. And Michael Stover, hey, Vega decided to R3 Stealthy over Aegon, and wow, need a prestige champ. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And he is a great prestige champ, right? Like, he is a very high quality champion. I have him in my super premium tier. So I think I would much rather do that than the Ragthor. I think you're going to get significantly more use out of Stealthy. That's awesome. Congratulations. Duke, how are you doing? Slade, you think Magneto? Duke, if I was going to take in one champion for the Yondu boss at the end of this one, who should I bring in? I can't remember who I used. I think I used Corvus. I'm hoping that Apocalypse might work out really well, but I remember him being a bit of a pain. Warlock? Okay. Thank you. And ideally what we're doing here is I just want to test, I want to test out Mojo for this lane. I think he's going to work out really well. I don't get to play Mojo that often, so I'm probably a bit rusty with him. But he's awesome. And look at these big beefy boys, right? I mean, Cable's in the middle, blocking out everyone. You can barely tell who's there. But I would not want to fight these guys. And I like having them on my team. I enjoy having them on my team. Corvus for the boss. Yeah, you know what, Moxie? That's what I was thinking. And that too I used, I believe, the first time I did it. But I'm not going to have the ability to charge him up at all. And I'm not running suicides. So I think he's going to be a bit of a noodle. Does Warlock need his awakened ability? No, I don't think he does. All right, so let's do a little bit of gameplay. I can see the chat, and I always love when... oh, you think maybe bring Kang? With the... Yeah, you know what? Let's try that. I think that would be fun. So we're going to back right out, and then we will get into the gameplay. King. I hope they give the I hope they give Thanos a nice synergy soon that buffs him up, right? Like having these trophy champions is nice, but and I was talking with someone on the comment section of a video recently. I can't recall their name at the moment. I feel badly about it. Was it Janice? I think it was. And you know, being able to actually use them is so nice, right? It's really fun. You'd keep Warlock. Well, that's the thing is I can't. So, you know, if we end up using units or if I have to back out, it's fine. Or I don't want to use units. I'll back out if I really need to. The whole point is to test out Mojo on this. So it's can't stop, won't stop, which means obviously we want to be unstoppable. However, when a Mystic Defender Mystic Attack knocks on the Defender, the attacker will go unstoppable. And then, of course, we have that fight or flight where we kind of want to be back away. So we'll have to back away at times to keep that in mind. But we're going to be going unstoppable whenever we complete a prompt, too. So I think Mojo is just going to tear through this. Let's go ahead and find out, though. Let's go ahead and find out. And then remember, Mojo is a bit of a ramp-up champion. So part of it is just getting through the first couple fights. But here we go. It's already happening. I don't want Howard to go unstoppable, so I'll wait out. But I mean, you can see we have two unstoppable buffs already on our own, and the degen's starting to kick in. In fact, if anything, the most annoying part about this fight so far is trying to bait the SP1. But so far, this is going well. Get the degen going. Compo, how are you doing, buddy? Mojo is pretty squishy for those of you who haven't had a lot of time with him. He can do a lot of damage once ramped up, but I think the biggest negative on him is that he is squishy, and so I am playing a little cautiously here. Or I'm trying to anyway. In fact, the Guardian synergy might have been really great to bring in just for the block proficiency. Oh, I thought that was going to be the SP2, and it was not. All right, that should be the slowest fight by far. Oh, all right, cool. So we got Duke and Z. That's German, correct, fellas? Um, and then I see a lucky hat reference. I'm going to scroll up and check that out. Opto, how are you doing? You completed Act 5 with your first rank 4. Is long shot. Hey, congratulations. That's a great rank 4. But my 4-star luck has been trashed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, Iron Man and Spider-Man will do that to you. And you have 11 5-stars and only good as long shot. Yeah, we'll send all the luck we can your way. The lucky hat has been, for those of you who haven't seen, I did another video with the greater gifting crystals. It came out this morning. It has just been, I've run out of words to describe it. It feels like I just say, hey, I would really like this champion, and then the game gives it to me. It is crazy, and I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. And then I haven't even been able to put it out just because of time. I opened up a featured crystal on stream the other day, and it happened again. Like I just said, you know what? This is the champion I really want. And we got him. We opened one and we got him. Z, you were there. Wet Noodle, you came up with the best rotation for CGR in Realm of Legends. Let me know when you want to go in there. Play with them. Everything dies in 32-38 hits. Suicide Zone. Very, very cool. Very cool. Are you getting to the Fury? That's my first question there. Are you going, and Pars, if I knock them down, they're unstoppable. Okay, cool. I'll try to kill, because that fight did take a little time. Moxie, read my last comment, please. All right, I will look for it. Jason Fernandez, hey, how are you doing, buddy? I appreciate you showing up. Moxie, I have only left 5 more paths for Act 7, and then I can get my 6-star Emma to rank 3 for Thronebreaker. Oh, congratulations. That is a big deal, as we're seeing. Thronebreaker is very important in this game. They are really incentivizing us to get it. And Emma would be a great rank 3. Emma is a fantastic rank 3. That's awesome. I really like Emma. I mean, she is in that list of all of these mutants that are just incredible. Congratulations. Fox Holla, how are you, buddy? How are you doing? How is everything going? Yeah, Duke, I was wondering about that too. I saw that the Unstoppable was actually an active buff. And this might be the end of Mojo, the Mojo experience, because Cole does not mess around. Oh yeah, there you go, Duke. And in fact, as we're going through this, I'm wondering if the Gulk synergy was even necessary at all. Just because there is so much opportunity to go unstoppable on our own. But pretty good. That was pretty good. Coop, here to see some Mojo gameplay. Thank you so much for stopping by, but I really appreciate it. Did you and Enzo make it to zone 14? Did I see that correctly? That is outrageous. That is outrageous. Looks like a lot of folks saying hi to each other. Brandon Jennings. Brandon, you opened up a 6-star long shot. Congratulations. He is a great champion. He is a great champion, and I think there's probably uses for him that we don't all fully realize yet. So I'd love to hear how you do with him. Moxie, you're gonna have a beer after your rank 3. That's awesome, buddy. I hope you enjoy it. And it took you 8 months. Yeah, that's the thing about this game. And I know that we all play it at different paces, and sometimes if you don't know me, you can misinterpret what I'm saying. But I think it's good that we all play at different paces, right? I think you play it at the pace you're enjoying it, and I think the game you'll be much happier with your gaming experience. Wet Noodle, no SV3, 2 SV2, and about 46. Yeah, that I prefer that one, but I understand sometimes the Fury is really nice. When I did the Killmonger fights in Alliance War, I didn't go to the SB3 the first time. The fight went really smoothly. And then when I went in for the second one, I had decided that if it just worked out, I was going to go ahead and go all the way to the SP3. And it worked out fine too. So that's what's really fun. 14, dude, I have never made it to zone 14. That is amazing. Way to go. Wet Noodle. So thank you so much. I do have line, but I reserve that pretty much for just Alliance stuff. I keep notifications on. So that way I can get tagged when I'm free in AQ or in Alliance War, or if they need me for something. I always want to be as responsible and responsive to my Alliance mates as I possibly can. I actually kind of probably overdo it in priding myself of being a reliable Alliance mate, kind of always have. So maybe there's another way we could get that video sent over. I do have a Discord server that is pretty active, and maybe you could DM it to me through that. I would be very excited to see it. I would, for sure. I see folks saying hi to each other. Avto, yeah, I will take a quick look at it. I can literally get 3 rank 4 5 stars, but no luck with the crystals. Oh, yeah, the crystals. That's why, even though I know I do, Kais, thank you so much. We'll update that, and then Avto. That's why, even though, if you've seen my channel, I do a lot of crystal openings. At least I think it's a lot. And I try my best to really, I don't want to ruin the fun of it. We're all there to have fun. And so I don't want to get too serious on a crystal opening. I think that it just feels weird. It's a weird entry to a crystal video. But I do like to remind people, it is it is not the way to invest in this game or in your account. Just treat it as fun. And I realize that the Cavalier crystals are different than the ones we earn through the game. But there's still a very strong similarity in that so much of it's RNG. And it just sucks. It really does. It's always so frustrating. And I feel horribly for folks who've been playing this game. And what was Moxie saying? It took him 8 months, right? And he's a good player. He's very active. He does a lot, but he's taken his time, and I have a feeling he's going to be extremely happy when he gets that Emma up to R3. So I'm sorry that you're having that experience. I hope it improves significantly soon, and just stick with it and try not to get too frustrated. It would be my advice that you did not ask for at all, but I decided to give it to you. So, and Devil Dog just pulled a 6-star Cosmic Ghost Rider yesterday. Thanks for the videos. I'm so happy to hear that. You have no idea how much joy I get when I'm getting comments on that video. I think I put that out like a month or 2 ago. There was 2 or 3 of them. And to have people say that something I put out into the world has helped them, it just feels really good. It feels incredibly good. And so thank you for letting me know that. And I hope you have a blast using him in this game. He is a very fun champion. All right, let's get into let's do a fight or 2, and then I will catch up on chat again. If nothing else, I mean, obviously Mojo is working out fine. This highlights, I think, what a great job Kabam did with this content. I mean, I'm using Mojo for goodness sake, and you all have pointed out some smarter ways to play the node that are clearing that up, and you don't need to have Mojo to play the nodes that way. And I just like that. I like that, you know, if you play well, for the most part, you're gonna maybe have an option. I didn't mean to go to the SP3. I run Mystic Dispersion 5 out of 5. I know not everyone likes that. A lot of people think the sweet spot is 3 out of 5. I guess when I was coming up in this game, as I say, I got 5 out of 5 was what you ran. Like that's what you did. If you had Mystic champions who could benefit from it. And so as a result, I got used to it. I'd like for him to throw his special 1. I don't really like dexing his SP2. A little bit of patience paid off there. But then I took a hit to the face. Mojo's holding up, though. The Unstoppables are definitely helping. Okay, I'm getting tired of this. And that might do it in. Took a lot more damage than I had intended to on that one. But it is what it is. Maybe we'll heal him up a little bit. I am enjoying using Mojo. I think I saw someone write it too. I don't think that the Gulk synergy was necessary at all. And so if anyone was going to use Mojo on this lane, I would probably suggest removing Gulk and bringing in another champion who might hurt you or help you in case you did make a mistake or two like I have. Looks like something funny happened. I want to check it out in chat if I can. Yeah, Opto, taking Longshot up, I think, is a great call. I know a lot of great players who have him at rank 3. Pars, yeah, I've been playing this game since January 2016, and I got my first R3 a few days ago. Yep, yeah. Shadow Moses, what do I do for a living, man? You know what? I got asked that. I'm a drug lord in Mexico. Close. I live in California, which is close to Mexico. I will. That's really funny, buddy. What do I do for a living? I gave kind of way too vague of an answer to this last time I was asked. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what to say because I'm still getting used to like how much personal information I want to give out. Slade, I will explain what I'm drinking too. It's actually just carbonated water and with a little bit of orange juice. I don't really drink coffee. Sometimes I'll have a tea in the morning if I feel like I need the caffeine. What was I answering though? What do I do for a living? Oh, okay. I run a very small private foundation that was set up to help people in need, primarily in Southern California. Thanks, Sarge. This is something that I did want to explain, though, because I think it does help people understand who I am a little bit. And sometimes I say things that if you don't know me, I think could get interpreted the wrong way. Sarge, in fact, I think you saw that happen yesterday, where I think if you don't know me, you think that I'm maybe putting something down, where I'm more actually maybe like asking a question because I truly don't know. I'm not looking to argue with people. And in fact, if anything, I really know that there's a lot I don't know and I could learn from you all. So So that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. It provides a tremendous amount of enjoyment, and I feel wonderful about what I get to do for a living every day. I used to be a lawyer a very, very, very long time ago. And so I feel great about it, and it provides tremendous flexibility for me to not only do things like this, but to spend a tremendous amount of time with my family. So I know it's played out and said a lot, but I feel very blessed and fortunate to be in the position that I'm in. So heresy cost. You know what? So wet noodle. Story time. It always turns into story time with me. When I was a little kid, I was tricked into drinking coffee. My brothers told me it was a Coke, and my parents were really strong on the like no sugar thing. And so getting the opportunity to have a Coke when my parents weren't around, when like it wasn't like when I was supposed to be allowed to, I was so excited. And it was actually coffee. And I spit it out, and I don't know why, but ever since then I have had like, it's like as a kid, I decided I am going to hate coffee. And despite knowing all kinds of coffee lovers, I just can't, I can't get over it. I can't get over it. Yeah, sorry, Opto. I know. I go on and on. I know. All right, let's keep moving on. I'm gonna throw a couple items into Mojo here. He is squishy. That's what I would recommend. If you were going to use Mojo, I would recommend bringing Guardian. I would recommend bringing Guardian to help that out, or just being better at the game than I am, which is doable. As you see right there. All right, let's see if we can get this done despite the mess ups here, huh? Yes, it is the fight or flight node. And I brought in Mojo for it. I brought in the Gulk synergy so that he would go unstoppable when completing a prompt. It's feeling like overkill. And I think that spot on an attack team could be utilized better with maybe like Guardian, if you have Guardian. I also think Dragon Man could probably be excellent for this. Yeah, as I was saying, I think Dragon Man would probably be superior. And I just wanted to play Mojo. I don't get a lot of chances to play him. He is so fun. I saw the Venom the Duck, and I thought it was Howard the Duck, and I was like, wait, what just happened there? Monkey, how are you doing, buddy? Thanks so much for stopping by. Opto, I used to play this game for years, but was pretty bad at it. And now that I made a new account, I have a way better account right now. Your new account, is your new account superior because of pools, or are you just better at the game and have progressed more? Or do you think it's maybe, I think they made a lot of changes to act like 1, 2, and 3, right? And helped with progression and skill, not skill, but crystals and things like that. Kais, yeah, that unstoppable path. Yeah. Doom. I could see Doom being awesome too. I could see, yeah. And as Parts is pointing out, and we talked about this a little bit, really any mystic could work. And I like that. It's just fun to bring in Mojo. Like, does anyone have Mojo? If curious if anyone has him and loves him as much as I do. And I truly mean enjoy playing. Not that you think he's like the best champion in the game or something. know what's weird about for me about Venom the Duck's SP2 is I've actually never found it difficult to evade. It's not one that I had to practice. I just kind of did it. And then I did it in a war video, and someone congratulated me on it and told me how difficult it was for them to do it. And ever since then, I've now have like a little thing about Mojo's or about Venom the Duck's SP2 evade, where I get a little bit in my own head on it. Here we go. I did it. Yeah, Osmotosh, I've never found it to be like overly difficult. It's just like I said, I put out I did, I've been videoing my war fights for years, and I just always shared them in line chats because that's what the alliances I was in did. And we would use that as a way to kind of help each other out and give opinions and show something we had done. It was helpful to me in getting better at the game. It was helpful to me in getting better at the game. And like I said, I just did it one day, and someone was like, "Wow, that was a really nice evade." And then I was like, "Was it? Was that a hard one?" But there are, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Obviously, I think I'm a very average player for the level I play at. And there are evades that other people can do that I just can't. So yeah. More Mojo. Hey, People's Champ, thank you so much for stopping by. Steve, I duped my 6-star launch, and now he's great for this path. Oh yeah, I could see Longshot being great for this path. That is true. P.S. I love Mojo. I use him for the Mojo is just so much fun. And Pars is agreeing they did great with 7.1. Benny. Yeah, Mojo is fun against Groot. That is for sure. Osmoshot has a 4-star. And Coop. Okay, so people do love Mojo. All right, I'm not alone in this. This is good. And then Opto was saying that more progress in this camp. Yeah, I mean, when you have the champs, it makes the game so much more fun. No, and Sarge, please, that wasn't false. That wasn't false humility. I think I am very average for the alliance that I'm in. I'm in for Loki. And I have been fortunate and been able to win some cards and things like that. But I think I am very middle of the tier, if not the lower tier there. And that's more meant to be a compliment to how awesome the players in my alliance are. The things I see them doing, the game knowledge they have. It's like, yeah. Got pretty lucky there. Not sure what made me decide to do 2 hits and then a heavy, but I did it. Who do I think is the best in for Duke is average? Duke is average if the pool you're judging it on is the top shelf tier, right? Is Duke Ghost or is Duke Quake? That's the question. And then who do I think is the best in for Loki? Jeez, I don't know. And I've only been there a war season and a half, so I've had 2 off seasons now. Also, you know what's interesting? One thing that I was really surprised by is it is the first like high level alliance I've been in that does not have like a training room or so. I'm not sure what the right word to call it is. Back at NY, we called it a training room, but a room where you could just show your fights. Now, people do show their fights, but man, I don't know. So I'll just start saying some names. Bryn is clearly excellent. He, from what I can tell, was a longtime member, and recently joined back in and is in my BG. See, that's the other thing is I think you're biased towards your BG because that's who you see just doing these amazing things. B Manny is obviously very good. I really like Lizer. I like her war fight. I like her war videos. So I might be a little biased towards Lizer because I like her videos so much, but she's great. Legacy. I mean, come on, the season he just had. I think it was Amir just went deathless in my BG. Like, there's a phase. You know what? FaZe doesn't have a YouTube channel, and so I think he doesn't jump to the top of people's minds very often. He is awesome, and I've been playing alongside FaZe off and on for I think like 3 years, and so I have seen him do a ton of stuff. And like, yeah, Legacy had an amazing season, and he takes so many fights. Willie, how you doing, buddy? You're in Act 6.2. I'm wondering, for my next R5, should I take Stealthy or Supreme because I want him for the champion boss? And that's where Stealthy, and that's it. Where Stealthy I'll use in War. I think if you're going to get more use out of Stealthy, you should go with him, buddy. I think the more universally or widely you could use a champion, probably the better, unless your account is just massive. But from our chats, I get the sense that having a champion you could use in a lot of places would be big. Clyde, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Pars is saying swap Mojo for Void for Yondu. He'll be fun. All right, we can do that. Obto, that's right. Brian Grant. Like, I knew I was going to forget people. Brian is clearly an awesome player. Yes, 100%. And he went deathless too, I believe, this season too. I just don't know how much he promotes his skills in War. But yes, he had an amazing season. I think he just earned, Taters does these amazing cards. They are truly works of art. I got one. I can't wait to do a video on that. But he did the amazing cards, and I'm sure I saw Brian with I don't want to spoil it, but I think he had a deathless season. I just realized. So that's the other thing I'm getting used to is being in an alliance where so many people are YouTubers, and so I don't want to spoil their videos. And I hope I just didn't. That was truly an accident if I did. Dreamin is a good player, Monkey. He really is. And then Jacob, I'll go ahead and I'll answer that question as we move on. There was a lot of reasons that I think that all kind of came in together, but I had been playing with a certain group of friends for a really long time. I enjoyed playing with them, Duke being one of them. A couple of them had talked about maybe leaving the game, or they had been talking about wanting to leave the game for a while. And I had another group of friends who had been in For Loki for an extremely long time, and I had been wanting to kind of go with them. And then I got a little bit, I don't want to say tired of, but I wanted to not do the AQ1 thing anymore. I just wasn't enjoying it as much. The rewards are awesome, and being able to rank up all these amazing champions that I have accumulated was really fun, and it is really fun. But those things all just kind of came to a head, and then For Loki was able to make room for me, and so I decided to take it, and I've been really happy about it. I do miss a lot of the guys in NY. There's a lot of really awesome people there. There's a lot of really awesome people there who I've gotten to know for a long time. They tend to be pretty quiet, but they're really genuine people who I think are nice people too. So. Willie's saying that's what was planning. Okay, cool. It's going well. Heck, it's Tuesday morning, and I'm doing this. So things are great.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, DLL, is that you?
Yep.
How you doing, bud?
All right, I have 10 energy refills expiring in 2 hours.
Get to work.
So if I'm not talking, that's why.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. We're having a good time here. We're going to go into that Yondu boss who, I don't know if it was you that was on the line, but I recall doing this. I obviously fought him once, but I was streaming.
Yes, I was here for the first one.
And I think I still couldn't hear. I think that was back when I still couldn't hear the game in my
You were
headset.
having trouble with the whistles.
Yeah. So here's the problem is what's my excuse now? What's my excuse now?
You didn't bring Sorcerer, who completely trivializes it. That's your excuse.
Yes, there it is. And you told me that that she did. You told me this, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she's a long way from the old counter. I just have no idea how Apocalypse works, so I can't help you with that one. Or actually, are you using Void? What's the plan?
I think I was gonna go in with Apocalypse because I like to use him everywhere, and then I'm assuming I will die quickly, and then I will go in with Kang because it sounds fun.
So with Apocalypse, can you avoid placing his poisons?
Yeah, I just went through the SP1.
Okay. Yeah, because if you just avoid stun, bleed, poison, then he should work.
Actually, that's why I wanted to do it. Is I wanted to test if this node will put the poison back on, because he gets around masochism. But does he get around super masochism?
Well, especially because there's a cooldown. No, it's not. No, there's not.
So we're gonna test that. We're gonna have fun testing that.
Interesting.
Right? Enzo, how are you doing? You're loving the gifting event? I am not surprised. You crushed it yesterday.
You didn't see any of JT's pulls, did you?
No.
Vega? He had a rough day.
I honestly, I don't think the crystals are that great.
They're okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm happy for what I got, and I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't willing to wait a little bit longer for... That'll probably affect my third Abyss path. But yeah. They're not mind-blowing the way they have been.
Dude, I don't know if you just saw it, but yep. He gets around super masochism version 1. This guy, is there anything he can't do?
That's pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, I honestly, have we seen super masochism before? I don't recall seeing it.
Pretty sure it's a new node.
No, I'm trying to bait a special, but guess what? Yondu does not have a bar of power. So
Jacob, I am DLL in-game Daddy Long Legs. I'm in SSX1. Put too many S's in there. Vega and I played together back at WoW and at Evil before that.
So I caught up
very briefly at MMX.
This is true. It took me a while to catch on to what you were saying and what you were doing. And I thought you were going to say, I am DLL in game and Daddy Longlegs in real life.
Destroyer of worlds.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, he's really taking this seriously. All right.
No, somebody just goes, hey, who's this guy?
Oh yeah, I should. I've gotten out of the habit of introducing people. It was a little funny though. I introduced Cam the other day, and I think he was a little bit like, you didn't need to do that.
Maybe so.
And here I am again trying to bait an SP1 from a champion who does not have a bar of power. And I die as a result. I deserve that death. I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve that. Who's on the call? So we're catching up. The stun on the block. I love the stun on the block. I love it.
Pretty close.
I love it. And obviously, without my stupid mistake from trying to be funny, he would solo this fight for sure. And Enzo, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe gifting doesn't seem overwhelming just because it's so close to the Cyber Weekend. And Cyber Weekend was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the unit deals were still fairly disappointing, but if you were Thronebreaker and you had money to drop on units, it was a pretty darn good time.
Yeah, that's great. So that's the type of thing where you obviously you weren't here for earlier part of this. Sometimes I say stuff and I needed to be reminded of that. And you're right, the unit deals were disappointing, especially for players who had grinded out all of those units and then were hoping to get a nice jump in their account and enjoy all the fun things of ranking up their champion. So thank you for reminding me of that.
Dude, my heart broke watching Brian Grant's video on that.
Yeah.
He's just like, I've saved for so long.
I think he does a great job of voicing that, and then I think helping people understand what that's like for so many of the free-to-play players, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't always go well, but it's important to talk about, you know, how some resources, you know, like a lot of people talk about, you know, every time a calendar is disappointing, there's always the chorus of, well, don't complain about free stuff.
Yeah.
But it's always important to keep in mind that some stuff truly is useless to some people. Like, some things just will not meaningfully advance accounts, and it's valid to complain about those sometimes.
I am very interested in what you're saying. I also kind of want to see how well I can do with Kang.
No worries. I'm also smacking down a Guardian over here.
Kang is starting to hit pretty hard. This is a rank 1. Oh my goodness gracious.
That's not bad. This is his max though, right? 20?
I honestly don't know. I've never even tested this synergy.
Somebody says Brian Grant isn't free to play, technically. Isn't he? I mean, accounts are one at a time. Yeah, we're getting some confirmation. 20 max is the max. Parzival asks, when did Kang start to hit so hard? That's the Apocalypse synergy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. On some level, it actually kind of makes me sad, because even though I don't have him, and I probably never will, I feel like Kang and the other trophy champs should be less useless, but because they gave him the Apocalypse synergy, it's going to be harder to buff him without making him broken.
I completely agree with both of the things you just said.
Like, oh, I mean, imagine if now they I think the original complaint when Cable came out was that that his base stats were too low for him to be effective. I mean, imagine if they went back and they buffed his attack, his crit rate, his crit damage rate, his armor now with the Apocalypse synergy. It'd be disgusting.
This is true. This is true. But then think about I'm not going to say the name because it involves his family. But a buddy of mine told me that his daughter, he has a lot of daughters, not a lot, whatever. Man, this is a bad opening to this story. Oh, geez. Anyways, a buddy of mine said his daughter gave my buddy and his wife one greater gifting crystal each. And this daughter is young. She's young. And so I think from the milestone, she got 2 greater gifting crystals, if I understood the story correctly. She opened it up and she got the 5-star Kang. That's pretty cool, right? I know. As we talked, I was like, he has a lot of daughters. I was like, oh god, just start over. Just start over.
But not enough dowry.
Yeah, I was like, could we have could we do another take? Is this live? Hello? Is this on? Is this on? Oh, it's on. Okay, good. Anyways, moving on. Let's catch up on.
Yeah, there's an R3 question there. I think Apocalypse or Corvus. Both of those are absolutely worthy and are in fact extremely popular. for
Yeah.
first R3s.
Willie, the real quest is seeing my hair grow. Yeah, this thing, I have not gotten a haircut since COVID hit where I live in the Bay Area of California. I have not gotten a haircut, and I'll shave the sides, but it is growing, and we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Thank you.
I bought a new trimmer to do my own hair about 2 weeks into quarantine, and a week after that, my old trimmer died, so it was a good purchase.
Oh, that was timely.
Yeah.
Okay, so people were catching us up on Kang. Layers, how you doing, buds? Thanks for stopping by. The 6-star Corvus or Colossus ranking up as first.
So Ninja, I think that Tigra is probably the better counter, for several reasons. But I mean, I can see theoretically why Sorcerer might work, but she's gonna have trouble with the Vigor because even with her Nullify aura, the delay on it is gonna mean that he's gonna have a lot of health. Like one or two, I mean, I don't know if you've taken that fight much, Vega, but even 1 or 2 ticks on that Vigor is insane, right?
Yeah, it's a real problem. I thought I was going to be able to do well with Guardian on it, and maybe he could do it, but the Vigor was becoming a huge problem. And I have a rank 3 Guardian, so but I'm always open to the idea that I just didn't play it very well. So take that for what it's worth. Thank you very much, Willie. Fluffy Biocardi. Yeah, you got 2 talkers here. That is for sure. And I particularly enjoy the board meeting joke because boy, do I know what that means, what that's like. Let's see here.
I do not, but as a musician, I'm supposed to talk to people and pretend like I do.
Well done. Is my R3 Guardian at 6200? Yes. Zero Frost Ninja. That's is part of my my prestige, part of my plan to get a pretty high prestige. So yes, he is. Hey, John, how are you doing, buddy? It's great to see you. And then we're going to go back in. We're going to do the invade path. And then, DL, you were telling me that you felt Sorcerer Supreme was great for Claire, right?
Yeah, because that's a footloose node, right?
Yeah.
She's just fantastic for footloose in general.
The
first time I did that fight, I took in Wasp just for for giggles to see if it worked, and I soloed it, but that's just because Wasp is fun.
Yes, that is very true. I need to get my Corvus out of AQ. I do have a 6-star Corvus, but he's only at rank 2, and
yeah, thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna go check on AQ again.
Yeah.
Somebody left the Starburst node up, and we're getting a little worried.
Oh, that's not good. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here. I have a bunch of boosts expiring, so we're going to go ahead and use them just because we might as well.
Oh yeah, I have a boost expiring.
I'm really glad I could do this for you.
That's what friends are for.
Yeah, exactly. How do you think regular Guardian would do on this? Worth a shot, right? I'm sorry, I'm at
what's the
Red Guardian? Red Guardian.
Regular Guardian, as in not my Guardian.
Yeah.
What's the path?
Invade. I'm just intending to use Corvus the whole time. If something goes wrong, then it's fine. I'll just revive them or something.
Yeah, that's probably. I don't know about Red Guardian, because I still am not completely clear with how block penetration interacts with perfect block versus block proficiency and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I will never profess to know that.
I'm pretty sure I used Ghost for this whole path.
Oh yeah, Ghost would make a lot of sense. Well, if I struggle, we'll go with so Compo saying, "Oh hey, another MCOC musician." I thought you thought you were the only one. What do you play? And by the way, I've been saying Compo, but if it's Campo, please let me know. It'd be tough to make clear, I think, over the chat, but if you can. And people are asking what you play, DLL.
Oh, I have a 2 degrees, a bachelor and a master's in trombone performance, so double the potentially useless. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I work around Pittsburgh, but I'm currently in Houston with my parents for the holidays. And don't worry, we didn't just get here. We got here like almost a month ago now and quarantined in an Airbnb for a week. It was a lot, but you know. Jazz piano, jazz trumpet, awesome. Yeah, I did quite a bit of jazz in my undergrad. Less so in Pittsburgh. I never really found the scene there, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, PP says Aegon works for Invade too. That's a good shout.
Yeah, maybe that's what I will. Yeah.
Parzival says Red Guardian doesn't really handle it well.
All right, maybe we'll back out then.
Oh, Sugarland. Yeah. Know where that is, Fluff Boy. Yeah, Campo says like the word camp. That's fair, and not like the word compo.
Parzival, why does... Okay, yeah, we'll back out. Why is Red Guardian not good? I forgot to check the node. Is there something about the node? PP, any suggestions for champ strategies on the vivified path? I don't. Does the chat have any? That's one of the paths that I'm hoping to stream, and I wanted to test a couple of things out on it first. I didn't want to just do that one because that one does look tough to me. RR, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm doing well. How are you? Corvus all the way. Red Guardian doesn't work good. No, not the invade node. I'm just talking about for the Claire boss at the end. Raider, thanks so much.
Sorcerer probably works great for invade once you get one of the runes up.
That's a good point. Better use the SP1 on the block. Good call, Aspitosh. Looks like we're having camp. Okay, I will try to remember that campo. Compo is going to come up a lot for me, but I will try to retrain. John, thanks for lurking, buddy. I do that a lot, usually when I am on other people's streams. You just kind of check in and out. Blade, yeah, you're definitely right. There's definitely better ways to play this. I'm chatting too much and just having a good time. John, you're up to 42 abilities canceled? Wow. That is a lot. All right. So we'll go ahead and back out. I also don't have suicides on, but I don't want to put them on.
Okay.
Go ahead and use those boosts. Oh, I did not mean to hit that. That's for sure. That was an accident.
Speaking of boosts, I'm going to be quiet for a minute because it looks like I have to take a linked node.
All right. With Starburst?
Yep.
Good luck. I did not mean to use that attack boost. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I accidentally claimed that, like, what did they give us? They gave us like a refund or something. I was like, why would you do that?
Oh, yeah. For Act, was that the Act 6 one?
Yeah. Again, file that under things that I'm like, I didn't really need a refund, but okay. Where other people are really excited about it. And I understand that. Let's just go ahead and head back in with this team, see if it works with the boost and things like that. Zero Frost Ninja, could Guardian burst down the acute box and out damage the Vega node? So that's what I was wondering. I think I took the wrong tactic on it. I was using the SP1 to SP2, and I'm thinking if he was going to do it, it'd be what I believe you're saying is build up the SP3s
and go all at once.
And then go all at once. I'd be really curious on that, and maybe I will try that. So the other problem is he's not a robot. So you're going to end up giving Apocalypse that genetic code. And then that just makes the fight that much more difficult for people. So we're definitely still in the testing phase, and I would like to test that. Yeah, I would like to test that. I also assume that's what you were saying is build up the SP3s. If not, please let me know.
Sunspot for the win. Oh, okay. That was stressful.
Sorry, everyone. Just a real quick aside. It'll just take a second.
Oh, don't you dare not load. Okay.
You know, it was off season, and RR. I've seen that video. That is really fun. That is really funny. It is a good video, though.
It doesn't go terribly well.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. It's a good video. It's a good video. It's a good video. Wow, I am not, and this is like the easiest lane in this chapter. Unbelievable.
Armand says doing Abyss completion, want to know if Colossus, Corvus, both unduped, or Claire duped are worth it for first R3. All three of those are good for your first R3. If you're looking at Abyss specifically, I mean, I think I've heard some people maybe trying it with Colossus, but I don't think any of those three are really on the list for efficient clears. Definitely not Claire, unfortunately. But if you're just asking which one to take up, I personally say Claire because I love her. But the other two are solid too.
This just isn't fun.
Yeah, this second no retreat node isn't going to be either.
I'm just going to put on Suicides. Or was there someone else that you guys said worked? I'm not enjoying this with Corvus at all.
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer?
You just have to get one armor up node. So if you can survive long enough to get the
rune? The armor up rune?
Yeah.
Okay. We used to talk about this all the time, that usually a node is tricky because it just messes with your muscle memory.
Yes.
And like, I am just really struggling to not intercept.
Parry with Corvus.
Yeah, and also to not intercept. Yeah, Duke, I think you're right. And I'll just put on Suicides.
Wait, is this the... You said not intercept. This is only the one that's Mighty Charge 1, right?
Oh, no. I'm doing the invade lane.
Yeah. So what's the problem with intercepting? Just not doing damage?
Yeah, ideally you just want to be hitting into the block.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using Corvus charges by intercepting and hitting.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Asmitosh, yeah, Ghost is great. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. And yeah, that regen on block is just unique, man. block penetration seems to get around a lot of other stuff, but for her, it's just cool. As long as I stay alive for a few seconds, I didn't feel it.
All right, take number 3. Who would have thought that the lane that would require 3 takes would be the Corvus lane, while the Mojo lane was just a solo with Kang killing the boss? Yeah, Pars,
I missed.
I agree.
Sorry, go on.
No worries. What's up?
Oh yeah, I was just saying. I'm sad I missed the Mojo stuff. I don't see enough gameplay of him offensively.
Yeah, it wasn't the best gameplay though, so don't worry. Not that you were really worried. I cannot stop intercepting. It's like I can't stop doing it. And
He's also super aggressive.
trying to stop is causing me to mess up elsewhere.
Oh, that's right. It's oscillating. Remember, the advice was L1 into the block.
Yeah. That's good advice. I kind of wanted to do that YouTuber thing where they don't listen to people who are giving good advice and they just keep doing their own thing anyway. Which I actually just did. I was trying to be humorous, and then now I'm taking shots to the face. This is good. This is good. This is good.
It's not that Corvus needs a buff, but it'd be kind of nice if, like, his L3 not recharged instantly, but just, like, took something off the timer to get the charges back. It's just such a boring interlude.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, L1. Oh. Oh well.
Yeah, he was close enough to death. Like, it's just muscle memory. It's like the first time that I ever really felt like I noticed it was in the old lane 4. The old war map lane 4 with that was it, the unstoppable. And so many excellent players just really struggled with it. And I remember being like, you know what, I'll do it. Like, I had the roster for it. And I talked with Iman about it. And he's like, look, it's muscle memory. It's screwing with your muscle memory of when you should go in and attack. And once I just really committed to learning those fights, it wasn't that bad. I'm not trying to make it sound like it was easy. And then, of course, having the roster that I had helped out tremendously. Like, I can't do, if I take a reverse controls fight, I almost have to take a few minutes off before I do the next fight.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you there. Well, and there's still, like, I know this is not good, but there are still certain champions. Like, I figured out not to dex against Sim Supreme, but like against the Collector, I see him move and I'm like, oh, incoming damage. I need to back up. Then you just die instantly.
Speaking of dying instantly, man, oh man. Who did I use for Domino in lane 4? I started off with Omega Red. Omega Red was kind of like, that's a bad example. Sometimes I hate my own stupid PG-13 rating that I've imposed on my channel. But Omega Red was like the entry for the lane 4. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. The Domino team was who I used to get used to the lane in general. So I would use the full Domino team, and then if as a result I wasn't able to take much afterwards, it was fine. It was a sacrifice that the BG was willing to make. And then once I got that concept of the muscle memory and not attacking and patience, then I was able to use champions like Omega Red. I would use I used Doom with that armor break synergy because a lot of times Killmongers would get placed there. And then I got lucky and pulled Stealth, and it frustrated the heck out of me because his pre-fights didn't work. His the one that turns off Unstoppable, it didn't work, and it took a long time to get that fixed, and that frustrated the absolute heck out of me.
Parzival says, always quake the dominoes. You are a braver man than I.
Yeah, Pars, I am not that good of a Quaker. In fact, I am not even close to that good. But you're right. And speaking of Quakers, Agent X has graced us. Wow, that is one of the best Quakers I have ever seen, like by far. Fluffy Cardi. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. It's Fluffy Cardi. Yeah, exactly. You play too much. You play too much. Or do you ever play Ghost and then if you have like a 6-star that's not awakened and you forget that you don't phase at the start of the fight and you take a 5-hit combo? That's always fun.
That's a lot better than my example. I've told you in WoD chat sometimes I'll be like playing so much Ghost, I just go into a quest with a completely different champion, and then I'm like, all right, time to phase.
Which would be awesome if we could just translate that over, right? Like if there was a pre-fight, you're like, I'll just take the phasing ability now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take Claire with the ability to ignore all damage and never have to block.
Yeah, exactly. Agent X, I'm having a great day, buddy. How about yourself? I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying that I get to do this. Feel pretty lucky about that too. Duke, Annihilus 2, I think I've gotten lost in the gameplay and the jokes. What about Annihilus? Annihilus was on that lane, probably. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, he was. I think I would use Doom for that, or maybe I didn't see him much because I'm not having a stronger recollection of that. And so, like, that's a great example of what I'm talking about with the muscle memory. So whenever I have a fight with Annihilus where I'm not doing the step back light, it really I struggle with it, and I'll get caught. Like if I'm using even like who did I use the other day? I think it was Doom to fight an Annihilus, and we got rid of the rod. And then I was, for whatever reason, I mean, I know this doesn't make sense. I was struggling with the idea of like, oh, now I can just parry. And I found myself still wanting to do the step back lights. So for what that's worth.
See, that's actually kind of funny because my default approach to Annihilus is obviously Claire, which, yeah, you start step back light, but then she nullifies. And so then you spend most of the fight parrying. And so with Doom, what I do is step back light, medium, heavy to throw a stagger on him, and then I intentionally block a hit to get one of the stifles. Then I back up, it staggers the unstoppable, and then he loses the rod. Sorry about that.
No, I'm laughing at. I think that was really funny. That was a nice blooper of just running into an attack. So, but I think that's a great example too of you're you are a very technically sound player.
Thank you. Sorry, I was looking at something for Make You. I didn't want to just be silent.
Yeah, no worries.
There was something. Oh yeah, Parzival said that he does the same thing after Quake fights sometimes, where he just starts charging heavies. I think I've only done that once with Quake, but back when I was playing a lot more hype, I would definitely like enter fights and oh, you know what the big one is like where champions leave openings after their L1s or L2s. I would throw heavies instead of full combos, and then I would ask myself, why did I do that? Although, on that note, a lot of champions, especially older champions, should have more interesting heavies. They should do things. Why don't they? Ooh, textbook. I mean, tell that.
Dude, I don't know.
That was a cool block.
Ah, thanks. Wow, this is just like, anyone tuning in now is like, has this guy ever played the game before? I
It's good I
have.
showed up.
I have played. I have played the game before. I started last week. I really like it. Um,
At least twice.
yeah, I played twice on Friday and then once on Saturday, and now I really enjoy the game. It's fun. Agent X. This is DLL. Did you already introduce? Did we already do this? He was the leader of the first ever real serious war alliance I had ever joined. I had really enjoyed the game, but I had no clue what I was doing. And I had this massive roster because I enjoyed collecting champions. And the first war season came out, and I enjoyed war despite not knowing what I was doing. And so I applied, and he took a liking to me for whatever reason, probably because of prestige. And
Did you PM me, or did you come up through like Wiz or Amon? I forget.
no, it was definitely through you. And in fact, I think it was an ad on the recruitment forums for
back when I did
Reddit.
Reddit ads. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I keenly remember that from the other side, where I was like, yeah, this Vega guy seems really nice and intelligent. I mean, his skills need some brushing up, but dude, his roster is massive.
Yeah.
We're like, we're lucky we found you.
Well, because Blade had come out, and I got Blade, and I took him to the highest rank I could at the time. I don't remember if R4s or R5s were a thing yet.
Yeah, I don't remember.
My recollection's not good, but I had him, and I had him at very high sig. And if my memory serves me completely right, and I think it does, this was around when Legacy was starting Omni. And so
That sounds right.
yeah, I applied to him, and he was really nice. And I was like, look, I'm not that good at the game, though, dude. And to you, and I ended up going with you all because I knew I felt like I wasn't ready to join an alliance with like a YouTuber. And I don't know, I was just kind of like, I thought this would be better. And then I ended up making like incredibly good friends with like half of the alliance.
Yeah, that was a good group.
It was a
I mean,
really
you're still playing with a lot of them. I'm still playing with a few of them.
yeah, that's right. In fact, that's the alliance where I ended up meeting FaZe and people like that. So
This node combo really is unfortunate.
maybe
Catch you in there.
is this lane not as easy as I thought it was, or am I just making it way harder than it needs to be?
Again, I used Ghost, so she kind of avoids that problem.
Jesus Christ. See, I'm doing this as a public service announcement for everyone. Don't use Corvus. Use your Ghost.
EC says Red Mags or Apocalypse to rank 2. Don't enjoy playing Magneto. Then yeah, take Apocalypse. I mean, Vega, you're becoming a bigger and bigger fan of him, right?
Yeah, the more I use and I see that nodes, I think that there's a lot in Apocalypse's kit. I think he would have been good if Act 7 had not come out. I think Act 7 is showing how much they are intending for him to have uses. Like, we ended up killing the Yondu boss in this 7.1.1 with Kang, but Apocalypse could have worked for it. I think the node was like Super Masochism 1, and Apocalypse anti-shrug ability was working for it. So, and I've just been taking him in and doing lanes with him, and he's clearing whole lanes. Now, of course, as people like to point out, you do need to bring in those other mutants, but you're bringing in awesome mutants. Like and because of Red Magneto, and I understand why you don't like playing him, or I don't necessarily understand why you don't, but I get it. I get that he's not enjoyable for some people. He solves metal in most techs, which is the problem with mutants to begin with. So,
Yeah.
I really think if you enjoy Apocalypse, go with it. I think you're going to be really, really happy. Try hard. I'm from Southern California. I lived there almost my whole life, but I am now in the Northern California Bay Area. Mr. Moore, how are you doing, dude? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, you're totally right. And there's been all kinds of excuse making and things for me. But basically, I'm struggling to like not intercept and play normally. I'm not doing a very good job of that and talking at the same time. And I'm probably doing both poorly as a result. So, but yes, you're 100% correct. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, just sorry, my parents. But EC to add on to that, I really don't enjoy Magneto either. I don't enjoy Corvus either, as just those aren't really my champs. But at the same time, I have a 6-star rank 2 Corvus, and I just rank 5 to my 5-star Magneto. So at some point, it's nice to have them. They're the keys to certain locks. That said, they don't necessarily need to be this rank up.
Like, I'm actually even trying to hit into their block with the SP1. I'm just throwing it, and they're like brushing into it.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, you should probably wait until they're in the armor phase like this for that.
DLL, I am not interested in fairness.
Yeah, I think it's funny because if you avoid this node with Ghost, then you play exactly the opposite. Like, all of your money is during the aggressive phase, and then you're just kind of, you know, getting through the armor phase as you can. But I think played with anyone else like Corvus, you basically just want to dance and stay alive during the aggression phase, and then just pound away during the armor.
Yeah, and you and Mr. Moore there are bringing up, I think, a good point of the aggression from when they have Fury and the passiveness when they have the armor up. And I used to take that fight in AQ. There was an invade, I think a whole lane maybe, or I was taking.
It ended with a Yondu.
Yeah, and there's maybe even a She-Hulk. I would often end up taking like a fight or two of it because I was on the Vivified lane. If I'm remembering it correctly. Now, since I switched alliances, I end up somewhere else. So, Campo, thanks so much for stopping by, buddy. I really appreciate it a lot. And and for those who don't know, if you've seen a lot of my videos, you'll hear me talking about Red Goblin. And how this other YouTuber has this like awesome video on it, and I do put it in the description. But it's Campo's video and channel. I highly recommend checking that out in general. But it's definitely if you have a Red Goblin and you're looking how to maximize Red Goblin as he's in the featured crystals and things like that. That is a great breakdown of the champion.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
Reminder that the advanced power boost has reset in the loyalty store.
Oh, really?
Was just checking to make sure we cleared AQ, and I got the notification.
I'm going to use more items on this lane than I have on all of Act 7 put together. This is insane.
You're far enough that they love E, but
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, because I know you're not playing as well as you are capable of, but at the same time, like, you are showcasing why there is some significant challenge to this with Corvus.
And I'd love to say it was intentional.
Oh shit. Yeah, this one's done.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. God, there's always so many lanes in the last path of, or in the last quest of Cav difficulty. Yeah, Parzival, talking and playing is hard. I ate a full combo from a Groot earlier in this call. Don't do that. Do not recommend.
That's right, she can't die to a special. WR, yeah, if I sound frustrated, I'm not intending to. It's more humor. It is what it is. Like, what are you going to do? I do wonder about Sensat's perfect block, but thank you. I always appreciate support. So thank you. I do appreciate that. Beta testing, yeah. Yeah, I'm just testing this out for everyone. We no longer need Proxima for anything. So it could be fun to bring in Claire, just in case we get to the point where I need a suicide-friendly champion.
Yeah, she definitely handles this well.
All right, we'll have a little fun with this. We've actually managed to move through at a quicker pace than I normally do. Yeah, Mr. Moore, when has actually ever been frustrating? Never, never. All right.
As Mitosh says, Ghost versus Claire, normally true, but when she's unstoppable until your Furies run out, it's not quite as fun.
All right. It seems like to me that whole alternating combos is nice, but really you just want to concentrate on Footloose, I would think.
For the juke, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, more. Sometimes that happens. I actually enjoyed most of Act 6 personally, but there were a few fights, including 3 or 4 minis that got patched out, that were very frustrating. And if you don't have the counters to certain things, some of those lanes definitely feel like garbage. Like I'm thinking specifically, there were lanes where everybody told me to use Quake, and I pulled Quake immediately on finishing Act 6. That was not possible, but luckily I got through most of it with kind of a combination of Claire, Doom, and Archangel, weirdly enough. I mean, Archangel makes sense, but the other two kind of covered the other problems. Why not Human Torch for Claire? He definitely works. I think Vega's just trying some stuff.
There we go. That was pretty impressive. I mean, not me, the champion of Red Guardian. I was very impressed by Red Guardian there.
I want one.
Yeah, I am surprised by that. How much health is on that, Claire? Do we know? Do we know? I think it was 400,000, which seems low for considering. Considering she's a boss. Thank you, Pars. Yeah, that's why I actually just got quiet and I wasn't even really paying attention to the chat. Although I did hear one thing. I can't ever fully turn out my, it's just the way I am. I just wanted to test stuff out. Most of my streams, or at least currently with Act 7, is I'm testing things. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. But I want to test stuff, learn things. And it's been going exceptionally well testing Apocalypse, and it did not go nearly as well testing Corvus, although I think we all know that Corvus can do great on that lane. It's just a matter of playing better than I did. Catch up on chat, and then I wanted to just jump into Arena and hang out, and just hang out and do Arena. So I'll see if there's anything. Mr. Moore broke his phone doing Act 6. Dude, Act 6 was... I'm glad you're done with it, too. It's always hard when, or difficult when people are like, well, I'm jumping into Act 6, and they're so, like, excited, and you just like, oh, yeah, good luck. It's really fun. Act 7's great though, like I just don't know what to say, because it is. I'm glad Kabam learned. I think that's the important part to take away from that. Did they change anything on 6.2.2 Sinister? They did. DLL, do you remember what they changed? I'm not going to remember what, but something is different.
I don't want to say this because my first thought is I'm pretty sure they took away the hard part. Was does he not have EMP mod anymore? Is it just Caustic Temper now?
I'm honestly not going to remember. Agent X, you also are an amazing player and particularly good with Quake. And I think that really helped in Act 6. And that's not to take anything away from you. In fact, I think that's meant to be.
Duke says no more.
That's meant to be a one of those things where, like, I think maybe the content was a little different for you than others. I did not enjoy 6. Well, I enjoyed certain things. I think in general, I did not enjoy it. I don't enjoy the nodes where I have to read like 4 or 5 sentences. By that time, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to remember this in the fight. So,
yeah.
John, you're planning your first Alliance War. I did not know that. Yeah, good luck, buddy. That is, if you end up really enjoying it, I think it's really rewarding. I did it very, very briefly for a while, and it's tough. It's really tough. I think everyone should have to do it once, though, and then you will have so much better appreciation for your officers and what they go through, and like get your Alliance War defense in as soon as you can, and just try to be understanding. So, Asmitosh, thank you so much. I do think Red Guardian, though, and I think Red Guardian, I wonder about him because so many of the big name. Well, I can already think of 2 examples that don't actually work, but a lot of the bigger YouTubers, I think, take war very seriously, and Red Guardian is not translating to war very well right now. At least,
so sad.
It is, but I wonder if that's part of why he's not more respected. Like, the damage output was incredible, and I didn't even play him that well. Like, I realized I should have gone at a point to the SB3 to refresh the shield. At least I think that's how I should have done it. And he still took down that Claire, no problem. So, yeah. RR, 435,000 health. Okay, so that wasn't one of the big 600,000 health ones, but still, that was pretty darn good. R3 Wasp, I think why not? If you want to and you enjoy her, and especially if you are a Ghost player, you're going to find yourself wanting to use Wasp at times. She can put out some good damage, and there's always nodes that enhance her or sorry, I can't think of the right term, but that you end up wanting to use her for. Yes, I agree. Mr. Moore, Act 7 is amazing in comparison. Duke, thank you for answering what's different about Sinister. Agent X.
Shout out to Agent X who did put it earlier.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, guys. And is that what he was saying? Okay. Thank you. Pars did the same. Yep, I agree. Like, there was a lot of Act 6, just not. Zero Frost Ninja, do I quake? I've quaked well enough at times to take very specific fights. What's it called?
That's me too.
The quake in the one where you quake and block. I can do that a lot better. But prolonged quaking in a whole lane or like a 3-minute war fight, no, I would never say I could do that. Integral, thank you so much for showing up. The reigning Alliance War champions, congratulations! Someone finally knocked off Ken OB, and well earned, well deserved. Congratulations! I am really behind on chat. Michael, I brought Red Guardian to A. And how's your A bomb doing? That's awesome. Yeah, Red Guardian is not doing well in war, as we said. Red Guardian's crit rate's bad. A lot of nodes in war. Yeah, Frost Ninja, you're heading at 100%. By watch 10. I have not watched 10. I will check that out. I'm looking for a good movie to watch as we got a little bit more free time. People are saying hello to each other, which I love. Quake and Bake. Okay, that's good to know.
I think Quake and Bake is the heavy only one.
Yeah, and then does I get a huge benefit from APOC? I think she does, but I have not had time to test that out. I do want to test it out, and she feels like a champion that with some tweaks could be actually quite effective. And isn't that interesting? Michael's saying that A-Bomb crushes War, Red Guardian's just there for the synergy. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? Just like 3 or 4 months ago, there's no way that would have sounded like a reasonable statement, and yet it is completely reasonable. It is completely reasonable.
Poor guy.
But, you know, I mean, if they just switch some nodes around, like, that's why I always say, like, I understand some champions are just objectively better than others. There's more in their kit or whatever. But so much of it, I think, is the nodes. I know there's people who disagree with me on that. And
No, you're 110% correct.
There are some very smart players who I know who disagree with me on that. And I am not going to... I can't say that they're wrong, right? But my opinion is that the nodes and the defenders make a massive difference. So, yeah. You can say they're wrong, though, DL. I'm just not.
Oh, I'm happy to. I mean, that's the thing, is that's part of why so many people have different impressions of what the meta is, because, you know, it's not just where you are in content. I mean, that's part of it. It's where you are in terms of your alliance prestige and what you're using for AQ. Like, are you running map 5 where, you know, a Captain Marvel movie with a 2-star Nick can take almost every single fight on the entire map by herself? Or are you running map 7 where everybody needs very specific counters and the globals mean that the same team doesn't work every day? In War, are you in a lower tier where you're probably not fighting the newer defenders and so you don't necessarily have to counter them? Or are you in the higher tier where it's probably you're going to see a 345 of whoever just dropped at least once in the season?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the nodes as well, but it's just an extension of that. Yeah. This game is too complex for anyone to be objectively good. Although, you could definitely be objectively bad. Looking at you, Groot.
I worry that Groot never gets the buff because the meme is so good. Like,
you say that, but I think you might be forgetting how deep the She-Hulk meme went.
That's true.
Because I remember there was one featured poll. It was after I'd gotten Blade. It was my very last chance at Spark. I think I finally pulled him this year. But the very last chance at Spark in the old feature crystalled system, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, just after New Year's. And I opened 3 feature crystals. I got Iron Patriot, Groot, and She-Hulk, I think. And I think that's one of my highest rated posts on Reddit ever, because everyone was so sympathetic.
Yeah.
And then She-Hulk got buffed.
And she's now one of the best champions in the game. I mean that broadly. I'm not putting her in the top 10, but she's incredible. And
100%.
And showing use in Act 7. And yes, I think it was Parge who said DLL is extremely technical player. If you were on when I was talking about how I had gotten used to showing war fights, recording and showing them well before I started a YouTube channel. He is why. He and that alliance is what got me started on that.
Yeah, we were big on learning. We had several people who, I don't know. I mean, part of it is I think we all enjoyed teaching, and I think part of it is just that we were so type A that when somebody, you know, when you're an officer and you want people that you like to do well in war, and you don't just want to kick them to the curb and find somebody else, then when they just come and say, I don't know why I died, something terrible happened, it's not good enough for you, right? And it's not because you're harsh, it's because you actually like this person. You don't just want to replace them with someone else. And so the only thing to do is, well, show me the fight. Oh, well, that's why, because you didn't notice the buff was on you, or you don't know how that works, etc., etc. And I've been that way ever since they added a native recorder to iPhones.
And then, Michael Stover, I agree with you. I think Apocalypse, I don't think he's necessarily awesome alone, but I think he is very satisfying to play. And I think ramping him up's not that bad, especially if you can do it strategically. Like if there's a mutant champion right there, And then also, I think because I like him, and I get obviously you do too. I feel like the ramp up is worth it. Where there's other ramp up champions where I don't think they're as worth it, so I'm not nearly as willing to go through the hard work of doing it. EC, I'm sorry for your 6-star pool. Adrian, I can work for you. Yeah. I don't have any employees, actually, which is interesting. Zero Post Ninja, She-Hulk, the best slow champion in the game. The only reason I am not going to immediately agree with you is because of how much I like Sorcerer. But I mean, that's not an unreasonable statement at all. And Agent X says the exact same thing, it looks like. Michael Stover, yeah, Stealthy does too. I am not as big a fan of Stealthy as those other two, but he has got his fans for sure. And I can't tell you you're wrong. That's for sure. I don't feel like I could say you're wrong.
I'll be slightly more pointed and say that if you are using slow or predictable unstoppable, then you can put Stealthy in the conversation. If you are using it to counter a fade or unpredictable unstoppable effects, I think he is pretty awful, personally. Because having to land those 7-hit combos to get a slow off, as opposed to Sorcerer, who can just wait and do nothing until she gets the L1, or She-Hulk, who just needs to land 1 hit of a heavy, those are very, very different.
So I have a feeling this might go poorly, but let's see. I think they're either going to be passive enough where it doesn't matter, or they're going to be so passive where I'm not going to be able to. Nope. Okay, that worked out just fine.
Outclassed.
Yeah, I didn't know how passive they're going to be. I didn't realize he would just let me hit him in the face and never break the combo or anything. I really hope this dude's buff is good. I would love if he ends up being like a super tier or a premium tier champion.
Yeah.
I feel like Cosmic needs it. I feel like Skill needs it. And I think he just seems like he would have an enjoyable play style.
Yeah, I love his animations.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Which is interesting because he's so simple as far as like what he's actually wearing, like his gear.
Mm-hmm.
Which I realize those are not his animations, but.
No, I know what you mean. The design, they all go together. The design people at Kabam are awesome.
They really are.
Except when it comes to female faces.
Let's not go there. That could get misinterpreted. Let's not do that. Pandora's box was just opened. All right. I hope you can tell I'm having fun. You can't see I'm smiling. We got this question again. So yeah, there's some people definitely saying they like Stealthy, which I think makes complete sense.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, John, you're right. I forgot. I just used Woodgarden. I was talking about how good he is. No, I could see liking him. I really like him. I think She-Hulk's ability to ramp up her damage so much. I don't know. That's tough. But I think She-Hulk is... I'm seeing her used more. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Rick,
she also has the taunt.
Also true, which is really helpful in fights, of course. Rick, I answered that earlier, but I realized people jump in and out of streams as I'm getting used to doing it. I run a very, very small private foundation that is designed to help the less fortunate. And so that's what I do. It provides a tremendous amount of freedom. I feel very good and fulfilled by what I do for a living. So yeah. Stealthy Slow is kind of annoying because it falls off. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but there's also the champions that you put the time and invest into learning, and I think because of that we're going to enjoy them more, or we enjoy them more, so we put the time in. And he's one that I have just not put the time in. So APOC is decent without the wrap. Part of the reason I use Stealthy is I feel he's better at lane clearing. Yeah, I mean, these are all true. I mean, we're definitely talking about champions I have in at least my super premium tier. Like, I think all of them are in my second tier, and there's only 4 tiers. So I think that shows you how high, I think, how highly I regard them.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael, Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah, I think that ends up influencing a lot of people's thoughts too. Is even me, who I don't mind using the units to switch suicides on and off, and yet I just don't like doing it. I think you were here where I was resistant to doing it for that lane because it's just annoying the way it's set up. I do know that Kabam talked about improving that, and I hope they do. I hope they do.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't commit to it, so I'm not going to say like they said, but
Yeah.
they did imply that they were trying to go this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This year,
obviously, that doesn't seem likely to happen now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was ambitious, though. I think the amount of feedback they got and with how quickly they got out Act 7, ultimately, I hate to sound like a Kabam fanboy, but I'm impressed.
They've done a lot. Yeah, I'm not taking that away. And the content has been actually good.
Yeah. So I know that arenas aren't always the most exhilarating things to see, but I think, and if I get enough comments saying no, please don't ever do this again, I'm thinking about trying to do more arena. And just kind of being able to talk and hang out with everybody, because it's definitely not as easy to do that when doing the content. And I just don't see myself being able to ignore chat for long periods of time.
Oh, sorry, let me.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Agent X, and I mean, obviously I would like the battle chips and the units and things like that. And I don't think I'm going to do like an official like announcement or proclamation or something. I don't know what the term would be. Oops. But I think I really want to try to get Hercules, unless he just ends up being terrible. I have a 6-star Awakening Cosmic Gem, and I'm about to have. I'm making my way up to a Tier 5 CC Cosmic, and I don't have someone I'm like excited to use it on. I don't have someone who I'm like, oh well, if I really had this rank 3 Cosmic Champion, I would be able to clear this lane or something like that. And so I'm thinking about just holding on to those and then making a big run for Hercules when he comes into the game. And so if I'm able to accumulate units through Arena, that would be extremely, extremely helpful. So, Rohan, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. Took both Tiger and Sorcerer Supreme rank 4 today. Now I just need to test them both out against APU. Tigra definitely appears to be the way to go. Both great rank ups, though. Congratulations. Pars, good to know. It's good. And I know there's a lot of people who do it and all that. But it just feels like a fun way to hang out. And I'm the one who keeps saying that this is my favorite part of having a channel, is the interacting and communicating. So it just makes a lot of sense to me. But of course, we'll work through the rest of Act 7 and we'll work through the rest of Act 7 and Variant 6. But Variant 6 is fun. It's really fun. Yeah, and
Sorry,
Tiger.
I think
Oh, the pooch.
Yup. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's funny, as I said pooch, which I almost never say. Taters was on stream the other day, and he was talking about how he was going to eat tacos, and he was talking about how he was going to have a pop with it. And I was wondering if everyone knew what that was. I mean, I do, but this guy doesn't like to die, does he?
I was just about to say, somebody needs to tell Spider-Ham that he has an L1.
So this is that improved arena AI, huh? I got 5-star Sunspot. Should I rank him up? I'm collecting. He can help me in Act 5 and 6. 5 and 6. I know he helped a lot of people in 6, but they have a lot of what he did that helped them was his perfect block because attack values were outrageous. And those have been tuned down. I think he's a good champion, though. I think he's a very effective champion. So I would think in Act 5, unfortunately, honestly, Act 5 was so long ago for me. I mean, I've forgotten most of Act 6. I tend to just do that. But if anyone has strong opinions on that, please, let's help out. But I think Sunspot is a good champion regardless. I don't think someone would really regret ranking him.
Agreed. On the subject of champions a little off the beaten path, I know it's like a perfect scenario for him, but I was just running Reed with the full Fantastic Four synergy on the diss track science exploit Cav quest, and oh my god, is he's so good there.
Really?
Yeah, because he builds the Furies really fast, and when you have the full team, he kind of has like a mini void effect, so they just melt.
Oh, okay. Very interesting to me about the full Fantastic Four team. I have 3 of them at rank 3. Duke, how long am I going to be on? I don't know. Probably anywhere from another 10 to 30 minutes, but I'm having a lot of fun, so I never know. And as long as the chat's going, that'll motivate me to keep going. Thanks so much for stopping by, dude. You've been on for a long time, a very long time. And Alex, I apologize. The one thing I forgot to say with the rank up questions is always, what does your account need? What does your account need, and how will that champion fit in? And then also, do you just like them? Because if you do, then it's a game. Have fun. Zero Frost Ninja, I seem informed about the game and really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here. You've asked a lot of great questions, and I believe you were one of the people pitching in ideas on how to take lanes and things like that. So thank you. That's awesome. Pars, I could understand why you wouldn't get that. So Pop, it's mainly from my experience in the Midwest of the U.S., they call soda or Coke or cola. Those are different terms for it. They'll call it pop. And I think the term was from soda pop. Used to be called soda pop. Meta, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for stopping by. It's awesome. I appreciate you being here. Michael, what's your advice on how to use sig stones? Put them all in the highest prestige, generic wise.
That's goal specific.
Yeah, it's extremely goal specific. I have trouble giving short answers, but Ghost Doc, thanks so much, buddy. I hope you have a great lunch break. I appreciate you stopping by and dropping that like. Mike, I think it's going to be completely goal specific, and also it dependent on if the champion needs the SIG or is greatly enhanced by it. I planned out my prestige. It took almost a year from me coming up with the plan and then being able to get the champions to it actually happening. And Guardian was definitely not part of the plan when that happened. And so I'm going to tell you what my mistake was, and hopefully, we can learn from it, is I started putting 6 stones into Namor. I have I think he's SIG 140, because I was going to take Namor. Yeah, exactly. I was going to take Namor up, and he was going to help me have this outrageous prestige, and Doom and Silver Surfer were put in the game. I was lucky and got them. And so that was going to be my team. And by the time I actually was able to get that many rank 3 champions, I had realized I did not want to take up Namor, but I had already sunk, I don't know how many 6 stones into him. So, they're rare, right? They're a precious resource and they're rare. And so I would just say, figure out what your goal is. If your goal is purely prestige, but then maybe wait until you can get them to 200, or you can get them to where you really want them and you'll be satisfied with it, because you just don't know how you're going to accumulate the 6 zones. You just don't know at what rate you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Two things to go off that. For one thing, about the wait until you can get him to Sig 200. Like, Doom is obviously one of the best for Prestige out there, right? But when I first pulled Doom, I couldn't get him to Sig 200, and so it was probably 3 months before he cracked my top 5.
Yeah.
Like, and that was when I didn't have any rank 3s. So, you know, at Sig 200, he would have been my number 1, and he was maybe 8 when I first ranked him. And he stayed there until like over Sig 100. And that can happen a lot. So, like Vega says, remember that you've got a full 200 SIGs to go. And that often it doesn't matter. It doesn't really help your prestige if you can only get somebody part of the way there. The other thing, speaking for me, I have not had the best 6-star luck. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. But like on science, I'm obviously very lucky to have Torch, and I could help my prestige a lot by feeding him stones. But because my alliance isn't in contention for the absolute top of AQ, and Torch benefits so little from his SIG, I'm not putting those SIGs into him, nor am I being asked to. Because I can afford to wait. And I thought maybe it was going to be a different science, but you know, I have someone like Reed who's, you know, not at the very top of the science class, but does benefit from a high SIG and does have high prestige. But, you know, I'm not feeding them all away, or all right away, even though it would make him better. I'm trying to see how he plays just at Sig 20 and then make that call later. And I think that's kind of the way that you need to do it, unless your alliance is, you know, in the place where they're like, our prestige needs to go up right now or you will be kicked. In which case, like, just make sure you want to be there. But unless that's what's happening, I think you can afford to wait and try and make sure that even if it's not the absolute best champion, that you're at least enjoying the character, and that hopefully the SIG helps them. That was very long-winded. Hope it helped. Alex is back.
That was
saying
fun.
Sentinel. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no worries. I was curious to see if I was going to be able to steal a buff there. I started the fight.
Alex says he's got 5-star Sentinel, Gilly 99, Spider Stealth, Morning Star. Need one more. Given those, I would probably... Well, that's the thing. I don't know if Sunspotter thing would help you more there, because both, one of the big utility for both of them is related to blocking, and you already have Morningstar who can ramp up to that. And then when it comes to just straight damage, again, all of those can ramp up to it, or stealth hits decently hard, even unramped. And thing's kind of a ramp up champion too.
I think what's the
So
thing too is what's the SIG and the awakened ability.
I would say Sunspot if you badly need the immunities, or Thing if you need someone to play around like Buffet or that kind of thing, where you don't want your buffs getting stolen and punished. Sorry, I kind of cut you off, Vega. What else were you gonna say?
No worries. None at all. I often get my 5-star roster and my 6-star roster confused. Yeah. What's the etiquette on that, folks? Do you hit the ask for help button when you're doing arena?
I do purely out of habit, but I feel like I shouldn't.
Yeah, because I'm not a serious grinder. I think if I was seriously grinding, I definitely would. But I don't want to take those helps from someone who really is. And we definitely have some serious grinders in our alliance. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Let's see here. Let's catch up on a little bit of chat. I miss having key breaking champs at Corvus, Quake, and Ghost. There's especially... Yeah, I missed that a little bit too. Oh, Lusky, you didn't need to do that. Thank you so much, buddy. I do miss that too, and there's a little bit of excitement. And I don't know how new you are to my channel. I am not going to stop doing openings because I enjoy it. I do think it is fun, and enough of you have let me know that you enjoy that. But the big, massive things, I think Kabam has removed the reward for doing that. Or I'm not sure that's the right term, and I should think of the right way to say it because this is something I've been thinking about lately. But there's really not a huge payoff for that anymore because there is not this game-breaking champion. And until and if and when they put out a prestige champion again, who is above Ragthor and below Surfer and Doom, which I do expect this year, 2021. I thought it would come out in 2020. But until they do that, there's also, again, it's like, they're fun, they're great. And I actually I prefer the game this way, to be honest. So, and I think it's better for everyone. And I still enjoy opening some crystals, so that's not going to stop. Hit Monkey without R5, with Worth I5 without suicides. I'm not a Hit Monkey fan. So I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. If there's some Hit Monkey fans in there who could tell us how he is without suicides, that'd be great. Adrian Vega, NBA season. I am pumped up for it. I grew up in the greater Los Angeles area, so I grew up a Lakers fan. I know probably half of you probably just left the stream, if not more, but I love the Lakers, and so I'm excited to see them being back where I feel they belong. 006 MCOC, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy it. We did do some Act 7 earlier, but I've been talking about maybe doing a little bit more arena. It allows for more talking and just kind of things. Who is the owner of that beautiful voice? I think that is DLL. He used to be the leader of WA. You were WA leader for a while there too, weren't you?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. But really it was Evil, and it was Evil, I think, is where you made your name. But
I forget if Integral and I ever had any dealings. I forget who we talked to at ASR back in those days.
And that might have been Wiz that was doing it too, right? And then Zero Fresh.
Encore or me.
Yeah, Ankur. I liked Ankur. I know I liked him. Speaking of Guardian is kind of annoying. He gains. Yeah, he is. So I love Guardian. I think he's one of those champions. So if you're going to do it, you got to commit and get him as high as you can, and just know you're really going to use him. So that I hate. See, I think probably so many of us have made that mistake of putting the stones in the champion because we're so excited to get this awesome champion, and like we've got a use for our 6 stones now, and then it's a year later and we still just don't have enough, and now what? So I'm sorry to hear that happened. Your 6-star roster has 1 more star, Vega. I'm sure I said something. I don't completely get it, but thank you. Meta. Okay, so then I won't be hitting it. Thank you for telling me that. It does make selecting them easier. So I used to do it too. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Clearium. I feel like I've seen you in some chats or you've made comments. So thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it.
Evening Meta. Is it evening for you?
It depends. Some people, yeah.
I didn't realize. I don't know. I thought that Meta. I don't know. Just from when he's active, I kind of figured Meta was on this continent.
I think he is. Maybe he's just hoping you have a great evening, like in the future.
Yes. So.
I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, in my experience, Integral has always been awesome. He was one of the first supporters of my channel, and I really appreciated it a lot. And puts out some great war videos of his own and the defending Alliance War champions. So
it is not almost evening, Meta. It's 3 o'clock where you are. What are you talking about? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Schlieren. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, thanks, Integral. Those were fun days. And we always, preferred not to match up against y'all as well.
Yeah, and I have been fourth place more times than I can remember. In fact, I will talk about it, and the guys that were in WoW will remind me how many times I've been fourth. So it was a lot of fun, but in case you were wondering, you provided a lot of frustration for at least me.
It was tricky. It was always something, you know?
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit of the nature of that alliance. Like, I don't think we were too nice. Nice is not the word, especially because I benefited from it sometimes. But we just weren't going to kick people who maybe weren't top-notch players.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. There was also just... There seemed to always be something that came up. Like, I mean, without going into it, because some of it's controversial, there were just... Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always something different. We never lost for the same reason twice.
Yeah, we had a couple of... not a couple. We had quite a few odd things happen.
Does Tigra need the Awakening in High Sig?
Someone who knows Tiger pretty well in here earlier was saying no. I was always of the opinion... Schlerum. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, I recognize you and your name. So thank you. I will try to remember. I apologize if I butchered a few more times, but please don't hesitate to remind me. So I thought Tigra not necessarily needed, but I thought it was really helpful for her to have the Awakening in the high six. I think it allows her to start the fight in both of her stances, right? But I think it was maybe Agent X who was saying she does not.
Because she can get them up other ways, right? Like from the L1 or something. I've just been learning a bit from Strands'
videos.
Skills.
Yeah, I actually think it's from the SP3, which would make a huge difference, right? The SP1, not that big a deal. The SP3, it's a lot longer to survive and stuff like that. Adrian, huge fan of the Lakers. Like, I love LeBron pretty much in every team. I think I'm old enough. I remember watching Jordan, and LeBron is just the most athletic, dominant force I've ever seen with my own eyes, or live anyways, in basketball. So him being on the Lakers is like a basketball fan dream come true for me. And then Davis is incredible. And it feels right. Like the Lakers have been about having big men and showcasing them. So it just feels right to me. Again, though, I'm a Lakers fan and I get it. Like, well, they've only won one recently, so I'm not going to go too far into that. If they win two more or one more, then maybe it's time to share the wealth a little bit. Does the help
Zero is... Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was further ahead in chat. I was just saying, Zero says he's throwing two SP1s gets the stances up. I think that's what I was hearing.
Oh, well, then yeah, it wouldn't be as important then. As
I'm gonna go read while you catch up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. On activation, alternate between triggering one of the senses or the other. And because they last for 14 seconds, if you wait until you're almost at your second bar of power when you throw the first one, you should have plenty of uptime on both.
And then is there a way to keep them refreshed?
That's a good question. Our chat might help. It says, is paused while the opponent is neutralized. That ideally would be...
Quite a bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't stack, but it's active for 2.5 seconds, and it procs on every single attack and will refresh.
Only,
So yeah, as long as you're good with the heavy and can keep landing hits, I mean, it at least wouldn't be any better with her Sig, because it could still fall off the same way.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Ninja, that it doesn't really seem to make sense why people say she absolutely needs the high Sig, because it's kind of just, the fight starts faster, but she should have all of her utility.
Well, and that happens too with us with champions, right? Like we think one thing because it seems immediately obvious, and then as we get into it, we start to realize how to utilize them better. So that wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah.
Um,
Carl's here.
Hey, Carl, thank you so much for stopping by, buddy. How are you doing? Michael, I have a question for you on that comment about Rogue. Are you making her a horseman, or I would think you must be, right? Because I don't think there's a synergy there.
Yeah, but I could see how a higher crit rate would really help her. Because once she's awakened, her steals can crit.
But so I'm going to show I don't know something here. How does Apocalypse help her crit rate without? How is Apocalypse helping her crit rate?
The base horseman. Well, yeah, I'm agreeing that he probably is making her a
Oh,
horseman.
got it. Yeah, okay, that's
Okay. Yeah, I realized where the disconnect was.
Hey, it is what it is. Moxie, you're back. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm making my way through my carbonated water and orange juice. And Jordan is the greatest of all time. Yeah, it's hard for me to say he's not. I think this is one of those this is one of those really fun sports conversations. I would love to say it was Magic Johnson, but I understand that Jordan was probably a better basketball player.
Gasp.
And I just look. I have to be honest, right? Like, and it will never be able to say for sure. Of course, LeBron is just does things that I've never seen anyone do, and this is not to take it away from Jordan at all. So please don't take it that way. But Jordan always had Pippen. And so I think that comparisons will always just be too difficult because LeBron.
It's so hard to compare across eras too, right?
Yeah.
You control for like medical science and all of that stuff.
100%, 100%. But it's fun, and that's where I think we all enjoy picking and choosing what we're going to include in our analysis based on things like that. So it looks like you guys are figuring out the Tigra. That's awesome. I apologize if I'm missing something. Where's your 6-star vision? No. So Carl, I see the laugh emoji there. I have for quite a long time, I have called myself I am more of a goldfish cracker compared to the true whales. Like with Usafa and Clown and Enzo. Just watch Gifting and watch their score compared to mine, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about.
But does that make you not a whale, or are you in the presence of krakens?
Good question, right? Everything is relative. So compared to them, I am a goldfish cracker, and I think you'll see that continue to tail off as I think Kabam is just not. I don't know what the right term for it is, but I just don't think that sort of whaling. I'm not seeing the payoff from it that I think once existed. Let's put it that way. And I think that's a good thing. I want to make that very clear. I think that's a good thing for the game.
I was about to say, I think it means the meta is healthier.
Agreed. I agree. And I think we're seeing that in Act 7 for sure. What is my favorite food? Oh, wow. I don't know. I love pizza. I
say a lot, pizza is my favorite food group. Because it's just so diverse, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I also like barbecue. I like a good barbecue, and I like a good jambalaya, depending on I think where you're from. And the real irony is, for the most part, I eat vegan. So go figure.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, yeah, and no, there's no moral judgment there. It's not for moral reasons. It's just because it tends to work better for me. LeBron has chased rings. MJ's. Yeah, I hear you, try hard, and I think there's definitely a lot of truth to that or accuracy. I can't deny that. One thing I can say though is when LeBron went to the Lakers, they were not good. They were extremely not good. And I think it also goes back to DLL's point about different eras. I think it was very different eras and how much control players had. And there's a lot of like, we'll never know. We'll never know. Like Jordan had Pippen. And if he hadn't, would he have maybe gone somewhere else? I don't know. The player that we seem to have gotten to know seems like he would have stayed there and just worked his butt off regardless. But who knows? So, yeah. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Jordan. I love him. Incredible guy. Redwood, how are you doing? Adrian B, still remember when LeBron made it to the finals of the Cavs without Irving? Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of those things for in LeBron's camp. And I will always remember that block he had from behind against the Warriors. And I live in the Bay Area and I'm a Lakers fan. So there was a little extra juice in that for me of just completely enjoying the sad Warrior fans. So sorry, Bay Area people, but you guys had won like 8 in a row. It felt like, so I don't know. I feel like you were going to be okay. All right. I'll do a couple of war fights or not war.
I'll just do a couple casual war fights while continuing to talk.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There's people who do that though. I don't see that ever being a possibility for me, and you're seeing why.
Yeah. There's no way I could do that. They would be incredibly boring streams, and it would be extremely difficult to keep a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
I may be saying this right, but Axel Bjorkman says, "Is this something I'm too European to understand?" Yeah, pretty much.
The Jordan versus. I'm
only barely American enough to understand it, and I was born here.
I assume so. Axel's talking about Jordan and LeBron.
I'm assuming so because it's also continuing in the chat.
Okay. So Axel, I think this would be like, and again, remember I'm American too, but I think that'd be like saying who was a better striker, Rooney or Romario, or let's even make it more. I can't think of a better one, and I know those weren't like considered the best, but maybe it's similar to the debate on like Ronaldo and gosh, I can't believe I can't think of his name right now.
I'm gonna be that guy and say Pavarotti or Domingo.
There you go. It's exactly the same. But that's a good analogy. I think what made it hard was that Jordan and LeBron were different eras. Mm-hmm. Messi, thank you. Yes, I can't believe I couldn't think of Messi, but they're the same era. Thank you, Maradona or Ronaldo. Maradona passed recently, right? Did I see that correctly? So I knew as soon as I said Rooney, I'm like, everyone who knows the sport way better than me is going to correct me on this. But thank you. I appreciate it. I am, actually. Maradona versus Pele, another really good one. Pele and Maradona, very good. And yes, Maradona did pass.
There's an inappropriate joke about Pele and Archer, so he's one of the few soccer people whose names I know.
Oh. And Axel, I apologize. I just completely decided that when you said European, you must follow football soccer, which is not fair. I should not have done that. Did I miss?
He might have been a curling fan. Come
on. Michael Stover. Mark Madsen was the best dancer ever. That is for sure. No one could ever argue that. That is objectively accurate. Carl, LeBron hasn't won without Wade. What? Oh, Kyrie or Davis. Not saying that makes him less good, but if you're going to fault Jordan for Pippen. So And yes, you're 100% correct. And thank you for writing it the way you did. I'm not necessarily faulting Jordan for Pippin. Actually, it did sound like I was. I wasn't faulting him as much as I was just trying to level the playing field a little bit. But I get you. I get what you're saying. All right. Yes, and it is delightfully fun. At least I have a good time with it, discussing completely pointless things. But I think that's really fun. Like it's not like we have to do this in bars, but like conversations like that so frequently happened like that with a group of friends enjoying a beer or a cranberry juice or whatever it is you enjoy. And like we,
Right.
for the most part, aren't doing that right now. And so being able to do this way is really fun. Just really, really fun. DLO, who was your music analogy? Did you say?
I said Pavarotti versus Domingo, two of the three tenors. I've had that fight before with people.
Now you use the word fight, and I want to make this clear. I'm not making fun of you. This is a genuine question. Does it get heated? Like are people physically
If
upset?
you are talking to vocalists,
Yeah.
yes.
Really?
The reason being, all right, so cards on the table out front. I personally prefer Domingo because he has, he just has a certain quality in his voice where, like, I feel like when he's singing a sad aria, I feel the pain in my bones. And so that's kind of like his emotive side is, I think, stronger. And most of the people I've talked to who prefer Pavarotti don't necessarily disagree. They just go, oh, well, Domingo isn't a true tenor. He has to, like, strain sometimes, whereas everything was easy for Pavarotti and it was perfect. And the fact that it was a perfect voice should be enough and should win out. Which is an argument.
That was interesting. I appreciate you sharing that. This is going to seem like a weird segue, so I apologize because I actually really did appreciate you sharing that. Carl, you played basketball with Mark Madsen? How did that happen? Oh, he's an acquaintance of yours. So I love how you answer my question. I should probably read the whole thing before I ask questions. He did seem like an insanely nice person. How are you able to say how he's an acquaintance of yours? Is that okay to share? If it's not, I completely get it. And yeah, like Messi versus Ronaldo. Yeah, 100%. Imagine what the bad boy Pistons would have put LeBron through. So again, I want to make this clear. I'm not angry. This is just fun. This is an enjoyable conversation. Do you remember that there was the Jordan rules, right? And was it Joe Dumars who was tasked with following Jordan around the court, if I'm remembering it correctly? I can't imagine Dumars being able to stick with Jordan, or with LeBron. Not that Dumars necessarily stuck with Jordan, right? The whole point was just to tire him out, and then they would hack the CRAP out of Jordan, and the rules were different then, and the way the game was played was different then. But I guess in the way I've decided, my opinion on LeBron is that he would have worked through it in a very similar fashion. Like it would have been the LeBron rules instead of the Jordan rules. But maybe not, because LeBron plays in a very different era, and the game is just not nearly as intense physically. Oh, what's the right word for it? Dirty. I think dirty is the right word. Snooker. No, Moxie. Is that like that's a pool game, isn't it? Billiards. If I'm correct on that. Give me more music drama. John's enjoying the music. Axel's responding to the snooker. Is it it's a billiards game, right? Carl, interesting fact is, as a kid, I could pick out each of the three tenors by their voices. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, if you listen to them a lot, it's definitely there. They're all obviously great.
Try hard pro sports. Yeah, I think they are. I try to avoid the term, but I understand what you're saying. And the reason is because I feel like so much of it is due to like our sports medicine and like taking better care of the athletes. But yes, like you ever watch the old football? Oh my goodness gracious. Like I'm talking like 60s, 70s, and even some in the 80s when DBs could just manhandle receivers, right? It was a different era. There's a reason why we're seeing smaller receivers start to flourish again. Like Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's good. He probably would have been fine regardless. But the reason, I mean, there was these bigger and bigger receivers because they needed to be able to stand up to the beating that they would take. They would take a beating, and they needed to be able to get off the defender and get out there. So, yeah. Snookers is like billiards. Billiards is a tough game to compare snooker to. Interesting. Vega, we were in the same church for a while. Oh, okay. Very cool. He currently lives with my parents in Utah. He is the coach of a local college now. That's so awesome. And that just fits with him, right? Like I try not to like become a believer in these athletes as humans, because I'm like, we don't know them. We don't really know them. But he seemed like one of those guys that was just a good dude. Like, and so that's awesome to hear that he's doing that. And I imagine if he's with a church group and doing that basketball, that he is having a pretty good life. So that is great to hear. Michael Silver, now I'm lost. I know we're jumping around. It's high level stuff that we're doing: football, snooker, tenors, and something else. Oh, my basketball. Even the 90s cubes used to get demolished with no penalty. Yeah, that is a great call. Yeah, and Aikman, isn't that why he eventually left the game? Was he a back injury or concussions? I can't remember. But I feel like his career was cut short due to injury.
I personally am glad we're taking a little bit of care of our gladiators these days.
Yeah, I think it's ultimately probably a good thing. But then we say that, and we have the prominence of the UFC. So it's almost like we just transferred it over. And I know they have rules too. But yeah.
I disagree with you there.
Let's see here. I think we'll do like 2 more fights. As much fun as I'm having, I can hear my family. And I should probably get to them. Yeah, like Ghost vs. Quake comparisons. That's a great MCOC example. That's right. Jordan did take those 2 years off and played minor league baseball, actually. Which as a kid, when I was a kid for the most part at that time, I didn't fully understand a lot of all that. Like I think the bigger like human implications of what had happened with his father passing. And so that just seemed like a really cool thing that he was now going to go play baseball for the it was a White Sox minor league team, I believe, if I got that correct.
Metaphors bringing in the figure skaters. I love it.
Yeah, meta. I'm just going to have to believe you on that one. Most of my ice skater knowledge dies with Skana Bayul, I think her name was, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And like, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the only one. We had a really awesome one. What was, we had a lot of really awesome ones. The one that got hit with the pipe. What were their names? Do you remember?
Story I don't know, so that's a funny reference.
Nancy Kerrigan. Look up Nancy Kerrigan. And I can't think. I'm worried that the name I'm going to say is the wrong name, and it's a bad. I shouldn't say it.
Meta says Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding. Thank you. I kept wanting to call her Tara Reid, and I'm like, I know it's not Tara Reid. But yes, Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. There you go. And Oksana Bayul. She was awesome.
So Meta, what is your opinion on the movie The Cutting Edge then? Since you are apparently its hero. In reverse. Meta says he took figure skating for a few years to help with ice hockey.
Oh, really? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I watched a lot of figure skating when I was a kid because my parents were into it, and I really enjoyed. There's an old rom-com called The Cutting Edge. What is the name of that actress? It's the woman who was the voice for Nala, and so like kid me already liked her voice. She's awfully pretty.
Nala in The Lion King?
Mm-hmm. The original one. She was also in The West Wing for a little bit. I IMDb this.
Let's see, did I miss any, like... Cole Beasley, that's a great example of a smaller receiver. Very skilled, obviously, very talented, extremely hardworking, who's having a great year. And I just don't know if they would have made it in that older time. But, yeah, he's in this time, so what does it matter? Yeah, it was headshots with Aikman and the concussions, that's right.
Yeah, Meta's got me. Moira Kelly. You should, I don't know. I hesitate to recommend it because rom-coms aren't everyone's thing, and it's kind of old at this point, but I enjoy it. Cautious recommendation.
Do I watch anime? No, not enough to say that I really do. I'd hate to say I do, and then I'd end up showing how much I do not.
Does that mean isolated DBZ episodes?
No, you and Iman and Wiz used to get me with that stuff all the time, and I would be like, "This looks really cool. I'd love to participate in this conversation." But
I am not on their level. I still need to finish, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Like, would so this will show you how little I know. Would Pokemon be considered anime?
I believe so, because I think it's still from the studio, but like, yeah, if you I think if you were to pick 3 shows that like people who don't actually watch anime would say, yeah, I watch anime, it'd probably be, yeah, I love Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and The Last Airbender, and then like they would have to hide under a table.
Got it. Yeah, and so like, because the other one I was even thinking about, and I don't think it is anime, is like I like the Totoro movie. I think it's Studio.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Zero Frost says, Pokemon is anime, but if that's all you've watched, you don't watch anime.
Yeah, and honestly, I watched that with my kids. Like Netflix is still putting out more Pokemon videos and series and stuff like that, and we enjoy watching it together. Yeah, some of them are pretty not good. They're just not like, but my kids love them, and they've got a new one out called like Journeys. And it's interesting. I actually do like it. I can tell they're trying to do more like teach the kids things type stuff, and the storylines and the characters have like flaws, and they're working through them. So I do like it.
Yeah, I'm all for character development in my cartoons.
Only skater I know is Will Ferrell. Yeah,
Blades of Glory.
That's a great movie though, and Tanya Harding. Thank you. It is anime. Yeah. I don't really watch anime, so I would hate to. All right, guys, I hate to end it. We'll do one more, and then I really do need to go. This was a ton of fun. Thank you so much for sticking around and just talking nonsense. This was awesome. Like I know a lot of folks come for MCOC, and we can talk that too. I'd love to, but I really enjoyed just talking. It's not nonsense. It's fun.
This was a great way to burn my energy refills.
Yeah, this was fun. Pokemon XY. I think my kids really enjoy that one. Is that the original one with like Misty and Brock? John, good luck with those Alliance War charts, buddy.
Yeah, I do not miss being an officer. It's my red line now.
Okay, yeah. I think that's one my kids have watched. Is that the one with like shoot, I'm not gonna remember it, but they're like, it appears like it's clearly supposed to be like Hawaii, and then if it's not, I'll stop guessing.
That's the one with like Deoxys, the guy who's basically DNA as a Pokemon god, right? I know very little as well.
I don't know. That name's not sounding like ringing a bell. Maybe they haven't watched it. And I'd love to show them the movie. I thought the movie was entertaining. But my youngest, I think, would be freaked out by it. She's still around that age where she's kind of starting to grasp the whole like real versus not real. Yeah, Sun and Moon. Zero Frost Ninja, you're right. Sun and Moon is definitely one. That sounds very familiar.
You said that.
Go ahead.
I was just remembering, I was recommending the Dragon Prince, and you said that that was still a bit too grown up for her.
Yeah, so I think my oldest would love it.
Dude, Detective Pikachu is a lot of fun, meta. I really enjoyed that movie. It was very silly. Did you ever watch that, Vega?
Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the one I was referring to. I didn't call it by the right name. I did, and I liked it. I that's the one my youngest would, I think, just would totally blur all the work we've done for her on the lines of what is real versus not real. She would just be like, everything you've told me is a lie. So
I can see that.
Yeah, I want to wait till she's in college before she realizes that. So thanks. Yeah, that was a delay.
Sorry, that took me a minute.
Yeah, that took a minute. Yeah, you know, let's definitely rate Enzo. Great call, Slade. DLL or Meta, do you have the ability to put a link in the chat? I think this is really weird. I tried to do that in the last stream I did. Yeah, but the link wouldn't take. Like it was as if I, the host, could not put a link in. I don't understand that at all. Thank you very much. Try Hard, is that the new is it Soul? Okay. Is that what it is? The Soul movie? Thanks very much for stopping by, Zero Frost Ninja. I do appreciate it. And I appreciated hanging out, everyone, a lot. This was really fun. Very, very fun. Cool. I think I'm gonna watch that too. I think my kids will enjoy it. So I'm happy to see that other parents are interested in it too. You know, the kids will enjoy talking about it. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. This was a blast, and I will definitely check you all soon.
Take care, guys.
Yeah. And, DLL, thanks for being on the call. Thank you so much. Slade, thank you for reminding me of my manners. Thank you, DLL. I really appreciate it.
Later, guys.
Yeah.